Yo, what's going on everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Today I have an out of the park 23 tutorial video for you. I'm going to be showing you guys how I personally manage my minor league system as far as promotions and demotions go. This won't be a development video necessarily. I will make another video on that another time if you guys would like. But yeah, I will show you guys how I personally go about promoting and demoting prospects and all that good stuff. If you guys do enjoy this type of content, please let me know down in the comment section and hit that subscribe and like button to let me know as well. And down in the comments as well, if you had tips as far as regarding this, please be sure to share. Maybe I can learn something from you, and maybe another viewer could possibly learn something while skimming through the comment section. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Hit that subscribe and like button for me, and let's jump right into the video. Alright, we loaded up our tutorial save here. This save is just the one that I strictly use for tutorial videos, so this isn't one that I actually care about. I did pick my favorite team, the Braves, just so it's a little more enjoyable. But yeah, this isn't one, I have no idea how players are doing or not doing. So yeah, forgive me as far as that goes. But yeah, the first thing you want to do is come over to your manager options, and then you want to make sure you have control over active roster moves. Want that to be your name, and then minor league promotions and demotions. That's going to be very important because that's what the whole video is about, right? I typically do have control over all this stuff except for minor league lineups, depth charts, and pitching staffs. I'll leave that to minor league managers just because I don't want to deal with something every time someone gets injured. But yeah, so next we're going to head over to our minor league roster. We'll just head over to our AA squad. And right away, the first thing I like to do is make sure I have my personalized view in, right? I titled this one Minors Batting Stats, and I made one that you'll see in a moment titled Minors Pitching Stats. I added all this stuff to it. The extras, I added their overall potential, personality, and their morale player role. This role is specific to how they feel about their team role, right? So like Riley's upset. If we come and look, it's probably on status by default. Click popularity morale. We'll see it's talking about his role on team. So I set that up to be this one specifically. You have to click that specifically when you create your custom thing, your custom view. To do that here, I think it was under miscellaneous or general. No, it's under general, right? Personality, player role, right here, morale, player role. And that refers to how they feel about either how their current manager is using them. Maybe they're not getting enough starting time, which could be the case for him, considering he doesn't have nowhere near as many plate appearances as starters. Or he feels he is too good for where he's at. He thinks he deserves to be promoted. You're going to have guys that are upset even though they're underperforming massively and their overall does not show that they deserve to be at the next level. And those guys just get ignored. I like to use the morale as more of a tiebreaker, but not exactly a tiebreaker, but just to see how the player feels in general about where they're at, right? As far as what I prioritize in order for judging is stats first, overall next as a tiebreaker, and I'll explain why, and then player role if we have to throw a third one in there, but that's just more so to see how they feel. Right away, what I typically do is I come in and I would sort by OPS plus and WRC plus. For these two stats, 100 is the average. So Michael Harris here, make sure you have a large enough sample size to even look at for a player, right? He is absolutely crushing it. 270 plate appearances, 143 and 144, 2.5 WAR. He deserves to get promoted, right? And that's before I even look at the dude's overallers ratings. I do not care about that because in real life, you don't have an overall and a potential just walking around every physical person in the minors, right? Telling you if they should go up or not. They get promoted based on their actual performance. So Michael would be going up, right? But if we were to need a tiebreaker, let's say we were doing someone like Nash Knight, right? We'll pretend he had as many plate appearances as Michael Harris. And he's kind of average, right? He's hovering, I mean, well, his batting average is bad, but let's just say we were going strictly off his OPS plus and WRC plus right now. He's kind of average. He's just average. And if I need a tiebreaker to decide, like, he's getting older, like he's 29, I don't know if this dude should go up, what would his overall be relative to where I'm promoting him to, right? So for Nash, I would come here, and since he'd be going to AAA, my AAA league is International League. I would go International League AAA, and then I would look at Nash's overall. Where'd you go, Nash? Right here, so he's still 25. I'd be like, okay, well, Nash don't deserve to go up. He'd probably stay here, right? I try not to demote players while I'm on the topic. And if I do demote them, they're only going down one level at a time. I'm not going to drop them all the way down. And the lowest I will ever demote someone is to low A. So right now, if someone got demoted, I'd send them to high A. And keep in mind, high A and low A are considered the same talent level. So whether you promote players up from your rookie leagues to either of these doesn't really matter. The way I decide is if one team needs a specific player or not, right? Or by like depth wise. So like this team could use a little bit of depth for the minor leagues. I would probably try to prioritize voting some guys to the high A squad from the rookie leagues rather than low A, because the talent level is the same here. Their stats will be carried over from either league. But yeah, that's how I go about demoting. I never go lower than one at a time, and promoting. I would only send Michael up one level, even though he could be, if you compare him to AAA, he's going to be overkill at AAA ratings wise. But I would like to go through and make sure he's going to actually perform there, right? And then we'll talk about in a minute about how I actually promote from triples to major league. But yeah, so get your view personalized. I prioritize OPS and WRC plus, and then I would typically take my time and look at these other stats and see like, okay, yeah, he's batting 283, you know, his WOBA is a 388 and all that. And if you don't know what these stats mean, feel free to Google them. I've taught myself a lot about the MLB stats through Google. And yeah, so customize your view with whatever stuff you would like to see the most. And then I like to use overall as a tiebreaker, and I prioritize stats first. We'll go through, let's see, and well, first we'll do this. So like to actually promote a player, you would go here to Michael Harris. I would right click on him, transaction, and then I would promote him to AAA Gwinnett. And you'll see here now, once you come here, he will actually have his, where'd he go? Michael, it'll be at 100 because that's what it starts at. His stats are actually wiped, right? Yeah, his stats will start building again from any reps he has here at AAA. But now, just to give an example of someone who I might typically would sit down, even though I said I typically don't do that, a guy like this, Delino DeShields, right? He's 29, but we'll just ignore that. We'll pretend he's like, you know, lower 20s, okay? The reason I'm ignoring that is because a guy that's typically doing this bad, if we have enough depth of other minors, this dude's probably getting cut to release dead weight and keep making room for the guys who are actually younger and actually trying to develop. But yeah, Delino DeShields here, he has a 49 OPS, 48 WRC plus. He has a massive sample size to judge him off of. His ratings relative to MLB is only 30, and he would be getting the quick cut. We right click, transaction, release player, right? Sometimes I do like to wait to release players until the end of the season. And speaking of that, whenever I typically check on minors, like whenever must check dates for me is right before the amateur draft, because at the amateur draft you're going to have a lot of new prospects coming in to fill up your rookie teams, right? So you'd want to come down here and take off any dead weight. That's just going to be stopping other players from getting reps, or they just don't belong here. For example, someone here who's just not getting reps right now is Cade, and he's 25 on a rookie league team. Okay, don't get me wrong, it's not terrible to be 25 and be on this team, I guess, but that just proves he's not better than the younger guys, right? To be getting reps for one, and two, he's just getting older, and you would want to make space, and that's how I decide who gets the boot. Like Cade would get released after the draft, as long as I still had plenty of depth. Yeah, so that's how I go about that. I would check right at the before the amateur draft and at the end of the season. After your season ends, that way you're all set to start next season. You have your prospects exactly where you want them. That's the 2 times I would at least check. But myself personally, I'm checking on this often, like once a week in game, of course, because I care about it so much and I want to go over it. As far as who gets released, that is how I go by it though, is their age, their overall, and if they're getting reps or not. It's like, I know I said I don't demote a ton, and since I don't demote back below low A, a guy like Tyler Plantier here, it's probably Plantier, however you want to say that, sorry, forgive me, who is not doing very good, and he's 26 and he's still at low A. Since he can't be demoted any further, at the end of the season, he's probably just getting released, right? You're going to have prospects coming through like crazy between international prospects and draft prospects. So don't feel guilty about releasing these guys unless you have some kind of like, you know, sentimental attachment to them. Then that's understandable. And that's who I decide to release and which dead weight to get rid of. I guess now I can obviously show you guys some pitching prospects. let's do this. How I would go about them. I have a view for that as well. If you would like to copy it, this is how it looks. Feel free to take a screenshot or pause the video once again to get a quick glimpse there. And right away, once I get in here, I would typically come in and sort by fit minus, and I care about fit minus and ERA plus, right? So I come in here and I look, and the lower your fit minus is, the better, and the higher the ERA plus is, the better. Once again, feel free to Google these stats and learn a little bit about them. It once again kind of combines all the important things into one. In the view, all this is the same up here. You'll notice I do have innings pitched. This is what I kind of judge the sample size off of, because you don't want a dude who has only pitched 4 innings and only thrown 8 pitches, and he has a really good FIP and a relatively solid, in this case for Hayden, he has a relatively okay ERA plus, because 100 is the, you know, average, once again, just like it was for OPS plus. But you want to make sure you actually have enough to judge them off of. If they're a reliever, keep in mind they will have less innings pitched than typically, like obviously Jaciel De La Cruz here has 77, because starters are just going to pitch more innings. It's a given. But yeah, so RJ here, fit minus is really good. His ERA plus is 113. He deserves to get promoted in my eyes, right? I haven't looked at the guy's age. I haven't looked at his overall. But you come here and look at his whip, his ERA and stuff. Like I said, I would typically go and I would judge off of this for tiebreakers too. But where it's a video, I'm just trying to speed through some things and give you guys just the gist of it. But yeah, stats first is what I judge. And then like the big overachievers get priority to go up. And then I would use overall as a tiebreaker. And then I see how he feels here. Like the dude's 31, he's in AA and he's overachieving pretty massively right now, but he's still happy to be here. That lets me know if I were to have like a younger prospect that kind of deserves to go up too, who I kind of want to prioritize, I wouldn't feel bad about leaving RJ here because he's okay, right? He's 31, he's not going to break into our MLB roster probably unless we got desperate injury wise. But let's just say RJ is one of those young guns. I'd right click, transaction, promote to AAA would be the next level, because that's, I go one level up and that's where that is. And once again, if you wanted to see overall relative to where you're sending them, in this case it's International League AAA, and you can sort by overall, and you can see Indigo here is actually, I just recently promoted him early in the video, but I had to redo a take. But yeah, he's really good. He's MLB ready. He just got promoted here, but I like to do one at a time. It will take a while for the role to update, like maybe a few days for them to realize that they've been promoted for this to change, so don't be too alarmed. And you might have some guys like Indigo, it might not change because he's like, dude, I'm still way too good for here, get me in the freaking AAA, right? He should at least be in AAA. But yeah, I like to use overall as a tiebreaker instead. But just for the sake of showing you guys a few more, let's head to like the Rome Braves and we'll do their pitching. I would just going to go through how I would do it. I would sort by fit minus. Remember, the lower the better. Right here, Thomas Burrows, he has 31 innings pitched. He has a fit minus of 49, ERA plus a 301, a 1.0 WAR. I'm promoting him instantly. Like, I'm right then and there, I'm just doing it. I don't have to look no further. I don't care that his overall is only 30 compared to AAA. He'd be going to AA, which I think is the Southern League for us. Let's see, yeah. But yeah, so that all that changes. His overall is now 35, right? But that doesn't matter to me. It don't have to be average of like 50 or 60. He's going up because he deserves to. I'd right click, transaction, promote to AA. Also, I think I mentioned this, but I can't remember in case I didn't. A, regular A, and A plus, high A, another word for it, are the same talent level. So this is the only time I jump straight from A to AA. For instance, let's just for the sake of the video, let's say I promote someone like Darius. You see his stats, right? I take and I go transaction, promote to Class A Augusta. Darius's stats, Darius, where are you? Are still there, right? But remember Thomas, we promoted him to AA. Thomas's stats, Thomas, where are you? Here he is, are wiped because it's a new talent level. So his stats will start accumulating at that new talent level. So yeah, don't be worried to skip on your rookie leagues. Whenever you're promoting, they can go to A or high A. The only way I decide which one it goes to is which team needs depth the most, right? But for promoting here, whether they're on high A or low A, they're going to AA no matter what. But really, I think that covers it all. Hopefully I didn't miss anything. If you have any extra questions, please feel free to comment down below and ask away. I will respond as quick as I can. And hopefully you enjoyed this type of video. Just remember that to go through your settings, personalize you a view. Try not to promote more than one level at a time. Try not to demote more than one level at a time, and never to blow like class A, your low A, because you want to keep those rookie teams just for your rookies. And use the overall more as a tiebreaker. Judge off of stats first. That's what I like to do. But yeah, hopefully this video helped you. If it did, be sure to let me know in the comments. Hit that like and subscribe button if you did enjoy, and be sure to check out my Twitch and Twitter down in the description, where you can catch me live on Twitch playing Out of the Park. After they get some of the bugs cleaned up, we'll start a main save there, and I'll be live regularly. Yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It means so much, and I will catch you in the next one.